Whether you're a watercolor fan or not, you've probably seen Jenna Rainey's flower paintings. She's a prolific artist who has how-to books and courses, and her art is on products everywhere. Seriously, if you shopped anywhere in the last couple of years, you've probably seen her art. So it's no surprise that a major paint manufacturer would partner with her to create a set of her favorite colors. Hi folks, I'm Chris, and if you're new here, welcome to the Color Appreciation Society. Today we're going to take a look at Maimeri Blue's Jenna Rainey watercolor set. Maimeri Blue, an Italian art supply manufacturer, has a couple of different sets like this where they have partnered with artists to create collections of their favorite colors, and I really like this idea. Color choices are integral to the thought processes of an artist, and I really like to see the influences on other people's creativity. I hope they do more of these sets. Now, my box arrived a little mangled, but luckily the paint inside was fully intact. I'm using regular cold-pressed watercolor paper for swatching here. This set includes primarily primary colors: permanent red light, which is a warm red; quinacridone red, which is a cool red; primary yellow; green gold, which is a greeny yellow; Prussian blue; and carbon black. With these colors, you could mix a wide range of secondary colors. I like these larger lids, but the edge on them is kind of sharp. I don't think you'll cut yourself on it, but they can be kind of painful to open. The Maimeri Blue website says that they use pigment, gum arabic, and glycerin, and nothing else. The lack of extra additives makes the color a lot more vibrant than some of the watercolors I've worked with. In spite of this, the permanent red does keep separating. For the most part, the set has no toxicity warnings, but the material safety sheet for the pigment in the green gold says that the pigment could be harmful if inhaled or ingested. So take a little care to work in a ventilated space and wash your hands well after use. I really appreciate the breakdown of this information on the back of the box. They're required to add a notice if there's a hazard, but going through them individually is a step above that other companies could emulate. Getting to the blue, you can see that it changes as it dries. The rest of the paints were more or less the same wet and dry, but the blue mellows as it dries. All of these paints have the highest light fastness rating, however, so once it's dry, it shouldn't change much more. This is a really useful set for color mixing. The warm and cool red and the different yellows let you kind of go anywhere you want with the colors. A lot of smaller sets will only use a cool or a warm red, not both, so good choices here. I'm shocked by how well this layers. The lower layers almost don't lift at all, and the color is so sheer that you can see the details from the underlayer, like this line here. And that continues into layering with other media. I used pencil, colored pencil, watercolor pencil, waterproof ink, chalks, and oil pastel, both under and over the Maimeri Blue paints. The results were the same. The watercolor layers smoothly and doesn't lift color from the underlying media. It didn't even lift when I added water to the watercolor pencil to activate it. There's no feathering or discoloration with the inks like I get with some other brands. And all of these basically look the same over and under. The only thing it didn't really do was sit on the black paper, but that's expected for watercolor, especially a watercolor this transparent. Maimeri itself has been around for about 100 years and was one of the first factories in Italy to create artist paints. And before getting these, I was unfamiliar with this brand, or rather, I thought I was unfamiliar with it. When I started looking into their history for the video, I recognized many of their trade names for other supplies. They became a part of the FILA group about 10 years ago, and while you may not have heard of Fabbrica Italiana Lapis Edifini, you've probably heard of some of the other companies they've bought, including Canson Paper, Prang School Art Supplies, Daler Rowney Paints, Princeton Brushes, and Arches and Strathmore Papers. For a company I'd never heard of, they make products that I use literally every day. I'm using multiple products by this company in this video, not just the watercolor paints we're testing. But back to Maimeri itself. What sets Maimeri apart from other companies is a focus on keeping their mixtures strictly binder and pigment with no fillers. These paints are smooth, consistent, and a true pleasure to paint with. I will be buying more of these. So the only remaining question is price. As I film this, these run about $25 on Blick or about $50 for list price, and given how little of the paint you actually need to get a consistent, vibrant color and professional quality of these, that price seems about right. I'm a little less sanguine about the individual tubes though. This 12 milliliter tube can go from $12 to $20. That's the Blick price. The list price is all the way up to $30 for this. And that's just too much for this small an amount of paint. It's going to be out of the budget of most artists. I'm not going to drop any points for the price because I'm reviewing the set specifically and the set is appropriately priced. But if I was reviewing the brand overall, I might drop a point for the price. But that is the only drawback I can see to this brand. So my final tally is 10 sunflower seeds out of 10. So if you've enjoyed this video, tell us about your favorite flower to paint down in the comments. And if you could like and subscribe and click the bell to receive notifications when I post a new video, that would be fantastic too. It really does help the channel. And if you really like this video, there's a link to my Patreon and Discord down in the description. Massive thank you to my patrons. As always, you're beautiful. I'll also leave a link to the Jenna Rainey Maimeri Blue watercolor set down in the description in case you want to try it out for yourself. I'll be back soon with another video, and until then, happy creating. Maimeri Blue, an Italian art paint, right. So the only remaining question then is the price.